Alright, it's been a while since I've done anything video-wise, mainly because I've just been too damn busy. October's kind of the worst month of the year for me work-wise. I've just been, just not really much time to do much of anything. So we're just going to do a quickie today, as I do have a few minutes, on the old Taito F3 Package System. This is specifically the package system. Originally when Taito came out with their F3 hardware design, it was more of a, it didn't have the big shiny red cartridge. It was more just a, well, it was double board still, but it was more what your traditional JAMA board setup. I mean, the package system is the same technology. They're all F3, and unfortunately, some games have actually been converted, essentially making bootlegs. A big one to look out for is Rayforce. Very popular game, but it was only released on the normal PCB version. So any Rayforce cartridge you see online, yeah, they're boots. Some of them are conversions from original boards, but Taito never made them that way. So yeah, I've had an F3 for, I pretty much got one the same day I originally bought the old Sigma, mainly just because they're cheap. Like Landmaker here, great game, and the card is like $20, if even. I mean, there are a few more pricier games like Bubble Memories, will cost you a bit more, but kind of neat looking cards. They got little holographic labels on them to prevent you from opening them, but yeah, I've seen some very nicely made boot cards where they've, carefully peeled the label off, and well, you can usually tell just by peering through the air holes with a flashlight. But I mean, I bought all of mine from a very, very picky Japanese shop, which if they ever sold a boot by accident, that would be like, let's just say that they give you one hell of an apology. But anyway, yeah, Bubble Memories, there are definitely boots of out there. Landmaker, oh hell no, Landmaker's too cheap. But yeah, very nice system, very easy to use. Just about everything on it was made by Taito, and it's a lot of puzzle games mostly. Some pretty famous ones, like the later Puzzle Bobble games. Probably one of the more sought after ones would be Cleopatra's Fortune. That's on this system. Personally, I'm not a big fan of puzzle games, mainly because I tend to suck at them. I mean, I've got a few personal favorites, but I'm not really the puzzle game freak that I know a lot of people are. So yeah, I haven't played this in a while, and it's been a while, but we're gonna take a look at Landmaker, which I think this was released on the PlayStation under some stupid title like Builder's Block or some shit like that, if I remember right. But yeah, I really like this game. I really suck at it, but and this was kind of probably one of the less popular games on this system. I can kind of see why. It's not so easy to pick up and play as opposed to a lot of other puzzle games. Well, it is, but it looks kind of scary, but we'll get to that in a minute. So the F3 system, changing carts in this thing is actually kind of a pain, because, you gotta undo the plastic clips, which are actually really tight, and one-handed it's almost impossible. Well, they just come off, but it has lots of extra connectors for like player 3, player 4. There's also a reset button, which every time you change carts, you have to reinitialize the mobo. Like, it'll turn on and be like, oh, the cart changed, and you just have to hit the reset button. The system does save the settings for each game. However, it doesn't save scores, which is kind of annoying. I think it'd save, both or none, but no, it's just the settings, not the scores. And then it's also got like connectors for like paddle controllers, because there's a lot of the games use the paddle on this thing. But yeah, changing carts is kind of a pain in the ass, because since it's got the 4 connectors, you gotta really, lift up on it. and you know, there's not much room to get your hand in there. Good job for kids if you're unfortunate enough to have any. But yeah, it's a neat looking thing, and it is pretty cheap, so. I admit I haven't played this one in a while, and it's a game I keep meaning to play more, because I do like it, but I just really suck at puzzle games, and I don't know, I'm far better at just shooting things, driving things. Plus, when I play games, I typically don't want to think. Admittedly, if you play a puzzle game long enough, it becomes second nature, and you don't really think anymore, but, let's turn this on. Now the system is can be a little bit picky about some things. Like you'll notice the graphics are going to be slightly doubled at the bottom of the screen. Although oddly it only does this when I'm running an RGB. If I'm using like the S-Video or whatever, I don't get that on this TV. But I have heard of some people that, you know, they've tried to hook these up to normal TVs and they've got rolling pictures, and so it can be a little picky if you don't have a real monitor. I mean, usually I would play this, you know, in the cab anyway, but I can't really make a video on the cab, so for that purpose you're gonna get the weird little doubling today, but it's not too bad. So as you can see, it's kind of a scary looking game. I mean, it's pretty simple, it's only one button, but since it's isometric and the pieces kind of move at a weird angle, it takes some time getting used to. You know, the first few times I played this, I really had no idea what I was supposed to do. Well, I mean, the idea is to just basically get colors next to each other, you know, and make a giant, as big a structure as you can, and then clear it all at once. But, I can kind of see why this one isn't quite as popular as most of Taito's other puzzle games, because it's just a little... It's a good fun game, but it's one you gotta try a few times before you get the hang of it. It's also strictly a versus game. There's no like single player puzzle game in this one. But it's extremely cheap, so if you ever do pick up an F3 board, I mean, if you're importing, you know, out to like the US, you might have to spend like $30 total, but you shouldn't have to spend any more than that. This one is about as cheap as it gets. Alright, skip that. So there's a practice mode, but it stops after the first 3 rounds, making it kind of pointless anyway. Now, of course, I'm playing this one-handed, but that's alright. Also, I've still got my stick in 2-direction mode, so I can't actually select the other players. But that's alright. I don't know, get this guy. But yeah, see, the idea is to make as big a structure as you can. And there's also the special tiles, which you can see. The way the pieces move around, it takes a little getting used to. I mean, if practice, you'll know exactly where they're gonna go, but and there's the special blocks which push it back, and so it's, yeah, this is a game that if you had, you know, if 2 players that actually know what they're doing, pretty damn awesome. But I really like the atmosphere in this one. It just kind of It's something different than, you know, the cute, just two cute random characters that don't really do anything, and that was a mistake. Oops, that was stupid. Oops, am I colorblind tonight? Why did I do that? Why am I confusing orange and yellow? That gives you a random purple spot for no reason. It is pretty good about giving what you need to when you get down to the wire, but sometimes just like, yeah, like there, I just want to hit that one piece, but yeah. The way the pieces move, it definitely makes sense after a while, but at first it's like, where the fuck is this gonna go? I want this over here. This is really hard to play one-handed, because it is actually a very fast-moving game. Although right now I'm playing so badly, I think it's confusing the computer. Like, it wants to counter me, but I'm doing such a shitty job of playing that it's like the most boring match ever. But yeah, if you're a puzzle fan, you probably definitely find something to enjoy here. I throw it on every once in a while. But yeah, in general, the Taito F3 is a very cheap, affordable system. I mean, a few games can be pricey, like, you know, Cleopatra's Fortune, for example, but even still, most of them can be had for under $100 usually. But yeah, good classic Taito system. Not really how much more to say on this one. See, I've got I've got about 4 carts, I think. But to be honest, I'm fucking exhausted. Ugh, I hate Octobers. Damn Halloween, damn kids and their Halloween parties. Ugh. Well, anyway, I think I'm gonna sign off on this one, and any questions, let me know. Probably not the most entertaining one tonight, but yeah, just felt like making a video, I guess. See ya.